वेलकम फ्रेंड्स। आज हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड मैग्नेटिज्म से रिलेटेड इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करते हैं जो यूजुअली इंटरव्यू में पूछे जाते हैं। सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 इज व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक एंड इलेक्ट्रोडायनामिक्स। आंसर इज द branch of physics which deals with the charges at rest is called electrostatic, whereas the branch of physics which deals with the charges in motion is called electrodynamics. The next question is, what is the difference between polarization and magnetization? It is a very important question. Answer is electric dipole moments per unit volume is called polarization, whereas magnetic dipole moments per unit volume is called magnetization. The next question is, what is the difference between resistance and resistivity? Answer is resistance is actually the opposition offered by a material to the flow of current, whereas resistivity of a material is actually the resistance offered by a unit volume of the material. That is why it is also called specific resistance of a material. The next question is, what is the difference between permittivity and permeability? Answer is permittivity describes how much a material can store electrical energy in itself in the presence of external electric field, whereas permeability describes how much a material can store magnetic energy in itself in the presence of external magnetic field. The next question is, what is the difference between polar and non-polar dielectric materials? Answer is polar dielectric materials are those materials which have permanent dipole moments, whereas non-polar dielectric materials are those materials which don't have permanent dipole moments. The next question is, what is dielectric constant and tell us its physical importance? It's a very important question. Answer is it is actually the ratio of permittivity of the medium to the permittivity of free space. It has tremendous importance in electromagnetism or electromagnetic theory because it determines the capacity of a material to store electrical energy. A material's ability to store electrical energy in itself is directly proportional to the value of its dielectric constant. The next question is, what is steady current? Answer is the current that doesn't change with time is called steady current. Mathematically, it can be defined as del dot J is equal to 0. The next question is, what is the difference between Gauss's law and Ampere's law? Answer is, Gauss's law is used to calculate the electric field produced by the static charges, whereas Ampere's law is used to calculate the magnetic field produced by the moving charges, or we can say that current. The next question is, what is the difference between electric dipole moment and magnetic dipole moment? Answer is two equal and opposite charges separated by a certain distance creates an electric dipole moment. Whereas in magnetic materials, each atom has certain magnetic field because of orbital and spin motion of electrons in an atom. So each atom acts like a tiny magnet. So magnetic dipole moment, which is equal to mu is equal to I dot A, is actually used to determine the strength and the direction of magnetic field produced by the atoms in magnetic materials. The next question is, tell me whether static charge can create magnetic field or not. Answer is no, static charge cannot create magnetic field. Static charge can only create electric field. The next question is, what is the difference between Gauss's law for electricity and magnetism? Answer is, according to Gauss's law for electricity, the total electric flux passing through any closed surface is equal to 1 over epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed by this surface. According to Gauss's law for magnetism, the net magnetic flux passing through any closed surface is equal to 0. The next question is, what is the difference between electric susceptibility and magnetic susceptibility? Answer is, electric susceptibility describes how much a material can be polarized in the presence of external electric field, whereas magnetic susceptibility describes how much a material can be magnetized in the presence of external magnetic field. The next question in is Coulomb's law applicable for moving charges or not? Answer is no. This law cannot be used for moving charges. This law can only be used for static charges. The next question is what is equipotential surface? Answer is the surface where electric potential is constant throughout the surface is called equipotential surface. The next question is what is the difference between electric current and electric density? Answer is the flow of charges per unit time is called electric current, whereas the electric current per unit area is called current density. Electric current is a scalar quantity, whereas current density is a vector quantity. The next question is what is the difference between solenoid and toroid? ये कई दफा सवाल पूछा गया है. Answer is cylindrical windings of a conducting wire is called solenoid, whereas when these cylindrical windings of the wire are bent in a circular form, then it becomes toroid. Solenoid has uniform magnetic field, whereas toroid has non-uniform magnetic field. The next question is what is displacement current? Answer is it is not the conventional current produced by the movement of free electrons. Rather, this minor current is produced in a dielectric material because of the sudden displacement of positive and negative charges in the presence of external electric field. ये देखो इसी पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव चार्ज को जो डिस्प्लेसमेंट होती है इसी को ही हम पोलराइजेशन भी कहते हैं. ठीक है. The next question is why are Maxwell's equations used in electromagnetic theory? Answer is Maxwell's equations have tremendous importance in electromagnetism because it describes how electric and magnetic field can be produced and how they can interact with each other. There are four Maxwell's equations that are enough to describe all the phenomena of electromagnetic theory. The next question is write the Maxwell equation on the board. ये कई दफा सवाल पूछा गया है. Answer is del dot E D is equal to rho, del dot B is equal to 0. The next one is del cross E is equal to minus partial B or partial T, and the last one is del cross H is equal to J plus partial D or partial T. ये चारों आपको लाजमी आनी चाहिए. The next question is what is the physical significance of Maxwell's first and second equation? Answer is Maxwell's first equation. Sorry, equation आना था, ऐसे नहीं आना था. Maxwell's first equation describes that the amount of electric flux passing through a closed surface depends upon the charge enclosed by this surface. It also confirms that electric field can have monopole. According to Maxwell's second equation, the amount of magnetic flux passing through a closed surface is zero. It also confirms that no monopole exists in magnetic field. Rather, it always contains dipole. Both are steady state equations, which means that they are time independent. The next question is what is the physical significance of Maxwell's third and fourth equation? Answer is according to Maxwell's third equation, changing magnetic flux creates electric field. This is actually the modified form of Faraday's law. According to Maxwell's fourth equation, current carrying coil produces magnetic field because of both electric current and displacement current. This is actually the modified form of Ampere's law. Both these equations are time dependent equations. ये चारों आपको इक्वेशन आनी भी चाहिए और इसकी फिजिकल सिग्निफिकेंस भी लाजमी पता होनी चाहिए. The next question is which current cannot pass through a capacitor and why? Answer is DC current can never pass through a capacitor because there is an insulating material present between a parallel plates of a capacitor. This insulating material prevents DC current from passing through the capacitor. The next question is What is Poynting vector? It's a very important question. Answer is Poynting vector describes the rate of flow of electromagnetic energy per unit area. इसका formula है S is equal to E cross H. The next question is, what are ohmic and non-ohmic materials? Answer is, the materials which obey Ohm's law are called ohmic materials. Certain conductors obey Ohm's law under certain conditions. The materials which don't obey Ohm's law are called non-ohmic materials like semiconductors. The next question is, what is the difference between Ampere's law and Biot-Savart law? Answer is, both these laws are used to calculate the magnetic field produced by the current carrying coil. Still, there is a difference between them. Ampere's law is used only in symmetrical cases. On the other side, Biot-Savart law can be used no matter whether it is a symmetrical case or a non-symmetrical case. The next question is, what is Bohr magneton? Answer is, quantum of orbital magnetic moment is called Bohr magneton. The next question is, what is Curie law, Neal temperature, types of magnetic materials, and other questions like that? Answer, all these questions have already been discussed in the video. Interview video का नाम है Interview Questions of Solid State Physics. So you are requested to watch this video to get answer of these questions. The link of this video is given in the description. So moving on to the next question. Question number 28 is, what is Lenz's law? Answer is, the direction of induced current is always such that it opposes the cause which produces it. This law is actually the manifestation of law of conservation of energy. The next question is, what is eddy current? Answer is, when magnetic flux passing through a solid conducting material changes, the current is produced in that material. So this induced current in a solid material is called eddy current. The next question is, what is the difference between electric field and magnetic field? Answer is, electric field is produced only by static charges, whereas magnetic field is produced by moving charges. Other difference is that electric field is conservative, whereas magnetic field is not conservative. The other difference is that electric field can have monopole, whereas magnetic field can never have monopole. Rather, it contains dipole. The next question is, what is Faraday's law? It is a very important question. Answer is, the EMF induced in a coil is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux passing through the coil. Formula is given that. The next question is, can a static charge produce electromagnetic radiations? Answer is no. Static charge cannot produce electromagnetic radiations because only accelerated charged particles can produce electromagnetic radiations. The next question is, what is the physical significance of equation of continuity? Answer is, total charge in the universe always remains constant. This is actually the statement of law of conservation of charge. The next question is, what is magnetization current? Answer is, the current which is produced due to non-uniform magnetization of a magnetic material is called magnetization current. The next question is, what is the difference between spontaneous and stimulated emission of radiation? Answer is, ये थोड़े से क्वेश्चन जो है ना क्लासिकल इलेक्ट्रोडायनेमिक्स से भी शामिल किए गए हैं, वो भी इसी में शामिल कर दिए, ठीक है. So answer is, the process by which an electron in the excited state goes back to the ground state spontaneously with the emission of a photon is called spontaneous emission, whereas the process by which an incident photon strikes with the excited electron and forces it to go back to the ground state with the emission of two photons. This phenomena is called stimulated emission of radiation. The next question is, what is population inversion and why is it necessary? Answer is, when the number of electrons in the excited state is more than the number of electrons in the ground state. This unique characteristic is called population inversion. We cannot produce laser light without achieving population inversion. That is why it is very important to produce laser light. This population inversion is achieved only in active mediums. The next question is, tell us whether two-level laser and four-level laser can be obtained. Answer is, two-level laser can never be obtained because it is impossible to obtain population inversion in two-level laser. Whereas four-level laser is possible and it is being used in many applications these days. The next question is, what is metastable state? Answer is, metastable state is actually the excited state in which electrons can exist longer than the normal excited state. The lifetime of electrons in the metastable state is 10 raised to the power minus 3 second, which is much higher than the normal excited state, which is 10 raised to the minus 8 second. The next question is, what is Coulomb's law? Answer is, the electrostatic force between 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of these charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Next question is, what is the difference between capacitor and inductor? Answer is, capacitor, capacitor आना था. Capacitor is a device which stores energy in the form of electric field, whereas inductor is a device which stores energy in the form of magnetic field. The other difference is that capacitor permits AC to pass through it, not DC, whereas inductor permits DC to pass through it, not AC. The next question is, what is electrolysis? Answer is, the process in which an electrolyte is chemically decomposed whenever electric current passes through it is called electrolysis. The next question is, what is Ohm's law? Answer is, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the conductor. This law is applicable only when physical state of the conductor doesn't change. The next question is, what is Wheatstone bridge? और क्वेश्चन इस तरह पूछा जा सकता है, draw the circuit diagram of Wheatstone bridge on the board. Answer is, Wheatstone bridge is used to calculate the unknown resistance. The next question is, what is Ampere's law? Answer is, the line integral of magnetic field around a closed path is equal to the mu naught times the total current enclosed by this path. Formula is given that. The next question is, what is mutual induction? Answer is, the phenomena in which the change of current in a coil induces EMF in the adjacent coil is called mutual induction. The next question is, which principle is used in electric generator? Answer is, Faraday's law. The Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction is the principle to be used in electric generators. The next question is, what is transformer and which phenomena to be used in it? Answer is, it is a device which is used to increase or decrease the given AC voltage. The principle to be used in transformers is mutual induction. What is resonance frequency? Answer is, the frequency at which capacitive reactance and inductive reactance become equal in AC circuit is called resonance frequency. The next question is, what is the difference between AC current and DC current? Answer is, the current which changes its direction continuously and periodically with time is called AC current, whereas the current which always flows in the same direction is called DC current. The next question is, what is corona discharge? Answer is, it is actually the phenomena of moving the charges from conductor to air. This happens because many charges are accumulated at the short points like edges and corners of the conductor, and consequently strong electric field is produced at these regions. This strong electric field ionizes the molecules of the surrounding air. The result is that this air becomes conductor and charges start leaving the conductor and move to the conducting air. This is called corona discharge. The next question and the last question of this video is, what is Kirchhoff's law? What is Kirchhoff's laws, KCL and KVL? Answer is, according to Kirchhoff's first law, which is also called KCL, the algebraic sum of all the currents meeting at a point is zero. This law is actually the manifestation of law of conservation of charge. According to Kirchhoff's second law, which is also called KVL, the algebraic sum of all the potential drops in a closed path or loop is equal to zero. This law is actually the manifestation of law of conservation of energy. Okay guys, goodbye.